In this video, I'm going to teach you what I think is the most effective concept out of the air raid offense in Madden 22, and that is the Y crossing concept. Now, this is the third concept that we're going over in our air raid kind of mini series. If you want to check out the rest of the videos, they're over at the channel, so you can just hit the subscribe button, head over there and check that out. Also, if you're new to the channel, guys, I do want to let you know that I have a full Arizona air raid offensive ebook that you can access over at my Patreon. So if you've not joined the Patreon yet, you're going to get immediate access to 13 offensive and defensive ebooks. The Arizona air raid just happens to be one of those. It's the best way. It's the best place to get all of my strategy videos, all of my schemes, ebooks, all that stuff. So if you want to support me as a creator, or if you want to get better at the game, head over to the Patreon and grab a Patreon membership for just $10 a month. You get access to everything. All right, guys. So today we're talking about the spread. The air raid offense. We're going to be talking about the Y cross. Now, the Y cross, in my opinion, is the best passing concept from the air raid that will really relate or translate very well to Madden. And the reason why it translates so well to Madden is because crossing routes have been one of the best routes in Madden for years. As long as I've been playing Madden, a crossing route has been very effective. So with that being said, we're going to actually use the Y cross play out of the spread Y slot. I like to put O.J. Howard in. If I was running this with the Bucks and Rags, you could put whoever in Mutt. It's really the spread offense is really good in Mutt because of the fact that, again, the thing that I like about spread that is different than almost any other formation in this game is you will have a really, really easy time deciphering the coverage post snap, and you're going to have an easy time spreading the user out and forcing the user to have to carry things that is very problematic for him. So for those couple of different reasons, I really like this offense. So spread, Y slot, Y cross. Now we only really need to make one adjustment to this play, and then we can run it. There's a couple of other things that you could do that what I would say is they Maddenize the play. What I mean by Maddenize the play is they make it more effective to run in Madden 22. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's not effective to run it the other way. It just means that it's not as effective, in my opinion. So, for that, you can take that with a grain of salt. But all we have to do to make this play, what I would say even better, is just put the tight end on a crosser. You can leave him on this default crossing route. The problem with it is, if you take a look, you're at the 20-yard line. You're going to see he's going to run it, and he's only going to get about 15 yards down the field. He's not even going to beat a basic purple zone. So he's only going to get about 15 yards on the field. But if you put a crossing route out there, like a Hot Route Master crossing route, you're going to notice that he's going to go and run, and he's going to get about 50 yards down the field. So either 15 yards or 50 yards. What do you want? Obviously, you want 50 yard. And this, in my opinion, is best ran with your crossing route coming from the short side of the field to the wide side of the field. That's my personal opinion. Now, the other adjustments I like to make on this play is I like to take the triangle receiver, put him on a whip, and then I like to take the back and put him on a block and release route or a quick out route. Okay? It's the same basic idea. Your first read is always your outside releasing fade. This is a very, very good route. One of the things you're starting to see in online head-to-head Mutt is you're going to see that people are going to want to run some cover zero on you. This little stock fade is very good for cover zero. You can do this little swerve, and you can get this open most of the time as long as especially if they're shading down. If they're not shading down, if they're shading over top, it won't get open. But if they're shading, like if he gets pressed, you can throw this pretty easily. If you get a heavy blitz, that's why I really like that out route, because it really does a good job against that. But then let's say, for example, you get kind of a basic, drop coverage out of this. Then what we can easily do is we can hit this fade. So once he's even, he's leaving. We're going to throw that with a pass lead up. We're going to click on, and you see how much separation he's going to get over the top. If that's CD, Lamb, and Mutt, that's a really, really good route, in my opinion. Okay? So that's kind of point, that's kind of the first point of that. And what that's going to force is it's going to force us shaded up if they're going to run man on you. Well, the problem is if they shade up and they're in man and you have a good receiver over here, this little whip route is going to get open and you can do a little swerve. And you can turn that into about a 10-yard dot. And I'll show that again. It's also going to make the running back more open if they're in man coverage. So we'll just rush 4 here. It's kind of a standard cover 1 coverage. But if you take a look here, see how good this whip route works? Doesn't need an ability. He does have slot-o-matic, but you notice that slot-o-matic did not light up, even though it's a quick slot route. That's kind of where we're at with route running abilities. For whatever reason, route running abilities aren't working properly, but it doesn't mean that the routes themselves aren't effective. And so I've actually been kind of wrestling with, do I run a route tech or not? But then once you go from that read, you're going to be looking to your crosser. Now, your crosser is obviously the main route on the play. And what I really like about this concept is that crosser, even though it's a tight end running that against a corner, he's going to be able to beat man-to-man most of the time, especially if you got, like I have Vernon Davis and Mutt. I think he's the best tight end in the game. But even if you have like a Kyle Pitts, even if you have George Kittle, there's a lot of good tight ends right now. And then the other cool part about shaded up man-to-man that I want to quickly talk through is this route to Mike Evans. So Stephon Gilmore is one of the best corners in the game. He has one step ahead in Acrobat. If you take a look here, because of the way that we're running this concept, we've got this flat route to the back, which is going to pull all those flat zones out. What we're going to do is we're just going to lowball that, and you're going to see that that's going to consistently beat shaded up man-to-man coverage. Now, let's say, for example, that you're playing this and you're running this concept and you love this offense, but they're maybe like manually backing this guy up, and then they're going to jam Evans on the backside. Okay, very popular technique. What you're going to do is you're just going to lowball this, click on aggressive catch. You want to come back to the ball. As long as you bring him back to the ball, you're never going to throw an interception. Occasionally, you'll see like right there, he might get his hand in there and like knock it down, but you're not going to have to worry too much about throwing an interception. So if Evans gets jammed, all I'm getting at here is if Evans does get a jam on him, just click on. You might need to wait on that just a little bit longer, but just click on to the player, the receiver, and you're just going to make that catch. Now, I'm going to show how this, you're going to notice that this is probably the best zone play in Madden in a minute. But here is see that right there? See, if I wait on him to kind of settle, low ball and aggressive catch is very effective. Now, this is my opinion, is probably the best play for zone in the entire game. So if we can beat man, we can certainly beat zone. So your first read on zone is going to be your deep route, and then you're looking, are they playing hard flats? Well, if they're not playing hard flats, then we're going to take that route to Godwin every single time. So then what are they going to do? Well, they're going to play hard flats, right? So now they're going to play hard flats, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to look to this deep crosser, which is going to get over every zone drop in the game, and as you can see, it gets over the top of, obviously a hard flat. Okay? So now, even best case scenario, they're going to have to double Mabel, and realistically, they're not going to be able to do that. Honestly, they're really just not. But to illustrate that, we're going to do something like this right here. And then they're going to have to carry the crosser all the way across the formation. Because of the route to Miller, what you should get is this crosser should come underneath this deep third. So you can check down there. And then this is my favorite route in the game. This post curl. I'm telling you right now, if you learn how to throw that route, you will love this offense. Because if they are running Mabel coverage on you, which most people will, they have to, and I mean they have to, user Mike Evans. I'll put him in a yellow. If they don't go user him, he should be open every single time. See how the crosser carries that yellow inside, and it leaves him in this little pocket, right on the numbers. Perfect spacing for this offense. And if you wanted to get O.J. Howard unbumpable, just motion him to the right. You could do that as well. But that's cover 4 and cover 3. Cover 2 real quick. Very similar. It's just high-lows all over the field here. But something I want to show you about cover 2. This fade on the left is going to get an outside release, and he's going to fade. That's a bad throw. And he's going to fade to the outside. So what you can do against cover 2 that I really like out of this, and I'll use the 3-5 wide, so because more people run that coverage. So this is cover 2, right? You've got the zig, so if they're in a soft squat, it's going to pull them down. Hard flat's going to get pulled down. So all you have to really worry about is a cloud. So you see, oh, it's cover 2. I'm just going to wait on it, and then I'm going to pass lead it straight up. What you're going to notice is he's going to burn the cover 2 for a one-play touchdown. 99% of the time, he's going to get over the top of the cover 2. So if you're getting some cover 2 coverage, this is a great little concept. Now, I will tell you that just from my personal experience running the air raid, you're not going to get a lot of cover 2 because it's so easy to manipulate in the air raid, just to run a post route. But what you will see how he gets over the top, and then again, don't pass lead it outside. You want to pass lead it up. And as you can see, he gets over the top of the cover 2 every single time. So this play, like I said, it's I could talk about this play so much, but this play is so good. Now, let's say, for example, that you're going to get a cover 0 blitz with 2 hard flats. So it looks something like this, and they're going to stand kind of right in here. Well, on this left side, if you're getting hard flats, just throw this with a little pass right there, and you see how you can kind of stick it right in the coverage. And then let's say, for example, that they're going to do something, to try to adjust to that. So let's say that they put that guy on a yellow zone, for example, and then they're going to use her here because they have to come over here to the crosser at the snap of the ball. That's their lurk. They have to be over in that area of the field. Well, now what you're going to see here is obviously you can hit the quick out and just kind of live to fight another day if you wanted to, just try to get the ball out quick. But the other thing that I wanted to show you real quick before we take off, so they have to go to this crosser. You're going to get hard flat, and then let's say they put a vert hook there to try to guard the zig. You'll notice that the zig is one of the best blitz beating routes in all of Madden because you see how the yellow zone will get manipulated relatively easily, and I can get this outside every single time. Purple zone is going to get sucked to the inside every time too. So there's not a lot they can do to guard this zig route, and then now they're stuck because they have to come over here, right? And then maybe you say, well, maybe they play this absolutely perfectly. I mean, we're talking like absolutely perfectly. Even if they play it perfectly, they have to carry that all the way across the field so we can always feel comfortable to check down to the post route, post curl. Y-cross is probably my favorite concept in the air raid. I love mesh. I love all the concepts, but of all of them, this is probably my favorite. And the reason why is because it just absolutely crucifies every defense in the game. It's the best. It's a nice drop back passing concept. It's not something that you really want to run against the blitz. You can run against the blitz, but it's actually really good if they're dropping a lot of people into coverage. It's a very good concept. So thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn more about the air raid offense or you want to just take your Madden game to the next level, be sure to join my Patreon membership. There's a link in the description below where you can join the membership for just $10 a month. And once you join, you're going to get immediate and instant access to every Madden 22 ebook that I have released so far this year and every ebook that I will release while your subscription is still active. Thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, head on down to the description and click that link that I put down there for you, and we'll see you guys next time.